Hello everyone, this is Shubham and welcome to your API tutorial. So in the last few lectures, if you have seen, we have discussed why do we need API at the very first self and what is the use of it. Then we have been creating or generating some mock APIs and trying to test it with using Postman. We have discussed the different HTTP method, different status codes, and how does it connect from front end to back end in the database, right? So let's proceed further with the Postman, and we're going to dig deep something in Postman. So we're going to create some basic variables, right? So what is the concept of variable? Variable is the concept, like, so you don't need to hard code your any repetitive value, right? So for that, it's the same concept in any kind of language, Java, JavaScript, or with any automation tool, Selenium, Protractor, TypeScript, or Cypress, or any kind of automation tool you must have been using. So let's go ahead and see into the Postman. So suppose the starting two mock API which we have generated, right? You find that URI is same, right? API.mock, mocky.io. Other thing like new request, if you'll see that this one is also same. So let's go with the starting two, and we are trying to suppose over here there are only two. Suppose there are in the project you have 100 of this particular service needs to be automated or needs to be tested, and you have the same URI. And suppose suddenly URI has got changed, you need not to go again and again change for all 100 services, right? You just change it into your variable, existing variable, and it will be reflected into all of the tests, all of the cases, right? So let's go create it into collection level. You need to go over here and to click on edit. While you click on edit, you'll see something called variable over here, right? Let's first copy this stuff, and yeah, again click on edit, go over here, and yeah, so okay, instead of variable we need to write the value. You can write it as URI variable name. This is gonna be initial value, and this the same is gonna be our current value. Now how you're gonna reflect it over there? So that's a very basic syntax you need to use: double curly braces, closing, and what we have passed? We have passed as URI. Same thing we're gonna do. Let's run it first and see the expected response. In the second or third lecture, if you see, we've been trying to generate a sample learning 1 and 200 OK status code. We had created this mock, right? And we were trying to expect this. Let's see whether this has been returning same or not. It's been returning same. That means this is getting this is working. Another thing, how you can see whether this has been working or not, you can just hover mouse over to this, and you see the URI is containing this particular value. So that means this value is reflecting onto this particular endpoint, right? The same thing I'm gonna do with this. Let's see whether this has been working with this as well or not. I'm gonna pass this particular stuff. Over here, we have been expecting REST HTTP method 201. Let's see whether it's been working fine or not. Yeah, it's been working fine. And you're gonna mouse over to this, and you'll see the same thing: the scope, the URI value, the initial value, current value, and scope. Everything has been reflecting over here. So this is how you can generalize your APIs testing, right? You need not to hard code each and every stuff. Suppose in this particular test case, we have in body, we've been using, I guess, parameter access, delays 3, or authorization we've been using, I don't know we've been using or not. And suppose any stuff like post me request. Over here, we have been using email ID and password. Suppose this email ID and password we have been using in multiple other test cases. So don't need to hard code it. You need to just generate the variable, and you can call those variable over here in each and every test case, so that in future, if you might need to change it, you can change it easily. Another thing, we're going to look into our tests. So what is this test folder? If you see, so you see over here, it says test scripts are written in JavaScript. So this test is, you can write your own script over here. You can set the variable, and you can also get the variable over here, and you can write your own any kind of set of code which needs to be executed along with this particular services which you've been executing. How are you gonna do that? So based on JavaScript, so I'll show you very basic JavaScript command, console.log, which is gonna print something on console. Let's see something called sample, right? Let's save it, open our console. So yeah, let's see there's something on console or not. Okay, so let's clear it out and let's execute it. Right now, gonna go with console and see this particular request has been tested, or API has been tested with this particular test scripts as well. So along with this particular API that need to be tested, I need some certain tests or some certain script also had been executing, so that that way I will be having some kind of result, or I'll be having some kind of like modified anything, modified test cases you want to write, or so you want to set some kind of variables. You can have it all over here. So how are you gonna get variables or set variables? That is all we're gonna see. So suppose for that we're gonna use, again, it's on JavaScript, right? So first create a variable, and in variable sample URI, suppose I wanna store. Suppose somebody wants to see in console that what kind of the value this particular variable consists. Then he's not gonna go mouse over to this, right? In each and every service that you are testing, he just wants to print it in console. Let's see where sample URI. For that you want to use pm dot variables dot get, right? And over here you're gonna pass this particular URI variable, right? Pass it over here, and again same thing, you're gonna print it in console. Let's print it. And let's try to execute that. See, it has been executed. Now you're gonna go in console, you'll find this particular URI has been printed in console as well. See, this is how you can do that. Another thing, if I'll be wanting to show you how to set. So this is how you wanna this is how you are getting the variables, whatever variable value or multiple variables. Suppose you have created. I have just created one for showcasing you. Suppose you have been keep on creating multiple variables, which is required and which is kind of duplicated in each and every other scenarios. You can use this particular command to print it on console. Now suppose you wanna set some. Okay. So first, this is for getting, and for setting also you have something called pm dot variables dot set. And suppose I wanna set this request type as post. Right, now how will you know that has been so let's run it first. It has been working fine. Now you won't see anything over here, right? Because you are not printing it. So you need to print it as well, right? So just print it console that it has been, like, we have set it on our base. So this kind of request is post, because we have handling the post request currently, right? Post HTTP method currently. So this has been set up by us. Now you will not see on console whether this is actually the case or not. What are you gonna do? Pm dot variables dot get, and now you're gonna bring this value home. Let's see whether this works fine or not. So there's some error, I guess. You need to, okay, instead of that you just create a variable called request, and we're gonna do pm dot variables dot get, right? Over here you're gonna call request, and now print this request over here. Oh sorry, this request is same. Okay, request because the variable name and the collection is kind of same. Let's run it. It has been run. So now in console you might see two values, and you will see, not might, you will see two values. One is gonna be this URI, another one is gonna be this post. Let's see whether this works fine or not. Yeah, see, you've been seeing your URI, you've been seeing the value which you have set as post. So this is how you can write your JavaScript in this particular test window. Another thing, you can set your own environment as well over here. Well, so suppose there's no environment selected, right? So over here you can go, you can select your environment, go over here, you can select the environment as sample environment, sample 1, and it has been done. And now if you're gonna go back, so there are two environments. So suppose you've been working on dev environment, so you can select this, and all the APIs that need to be tested in dev environment will be loaded up over here, or that will be tested in dev environment. So you can create multiple environment, and we will look into it further in our different lecture. Till that time, so I hope you have understood the concept of setting the variable and referring the variable, how you're gonna refer it to our test, actual test, and simultaneously you can write it on JavaScript and set and get the variables from this particular place. Till that time, for the next lecture, thank you so much.